All right, guys, this is Jacob from Wager Me This, and this is going to be Advanced Craps Play. I think this is video 5. If not, I'll figure it out. But in this one, I'm going to talk about, as an experienced player, you should understand how to use the layout to your advantage. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out $600, and I'm going to start out a very common, simple type of strategy. I'm going to roll a couple rolls and see where we stand. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 110 inside. This is very common, normal thing people do. All right, so I'm going to roll a couple rolls. Let's say we're going to roll 5 rolls. And no matter what happens, we're going to be working all the time. Let's just say we're working on the come out, 5 rolls. Then we're going to be like, okay, how do we attack from here? So let's see what happens. All right, so that's a loss right away. This count every 5 roll. Okay, so because this is a situational thing going to happen here. We lost 110. Okay, not discouraged. Stuff like that happens. All right, remember we're going 5 rolls, and then we're going to be like, okay, use the layout to our favor. Oh, wow, we may not make it 5 rolls. That's back to, that was a 7, guys. Get 110 out. All right, now it's getting a little tricky. You may already want to dig into your bag of tricks here. Playing craps isn't working yet. And there's a 4. Okay, so we got a point. All right, 2 more rolls. And there's a 5, so we won something. All right, still quite a bit behind. 1 more roll. And we got aces, okay? It would have been nicer that it stayed on that 6. All right, so we went 5 rolls in. We've lost twice. So we're down 210 and we've won 35. All right, so not going great, right? We got a point of 4. All right, shooter is kind of all over the place. He's hit some horn numbers, a couple 7s. All right, so how do we turn this into our advantage here? All right. Well, there's 2 ways on these numbers. One way is we could reduce our risk and try to play the long game. Or another way is we could bump our risk up, being that we haven't hit a lot of them, expecting them to be coming pretty soon. And for the next 5 rolls, maybe we bump our risk up and say, okay, you know, yeah, we've had a couple losers. You know, we're expecting a couple winners, right? And then from here, be like, okay, if I get a hit on the first roll here, you know, I'll pull that one down, or I'll reduce that one, or I'll reduce all of them on 1 hit. So let's see what happens on the next 5 rolls. All right, there's a 9, so we're going to win 70. All right, so we're always thinking here. So we're like, okay, we hit the 9, we'll pull it down, take half of it off. We just won 70. So now we've got half of what we've lost back. And there's a 12, okay? And there's a 10. And there's a 4. So shooter made his point. So now shooter's looking kind of hot, all right? So at this point, we've seen a lot of rolls. We probably will turn our bets off. So these bets are going to be off for this roll. We're not going to sit here and keep fighting the 7. We just had a bunch of rolls, only got 1 win out of 4 rolls. And we have a total of 18 ways to win up here. So we got, you know, 4, 5, 5, 5, or 4. That's 18 ways to win. So that's 1 out of every 2 rolls we should be winning. And we didn't. We just rolled 4 rolls, only won once. So we're going to be off on this come out. And there's a 5. Okay, so the point's 5. Next 5 rolls. Okay, so our strategy of 110 inside hasn't been doing that great. Okay, so maybe we're like, okay, let's spread out to everything. Let's make it a little easier to win. All right. And at this point, when we roll once, when we hit once, we'll reduce down to 96 across, and then we'll reduce down to 88 inside, and so on and so forth. So let's roll 5 more rolls. And there's the 8, 35. So we're using the layout to our advantage. You know, we're using our our craps knowledge, our craps skill of kind of how the game goes. All right? We're not just going to let the game beat us up. We're going to take advantage of what's there. So we started out as inside bettors. That really wasn't working. So now because we rolled 4s and 10s and stuff, so we're going to spread out to the outside. We're still trying to make up our money that we lost initially. All right, so there's 21. All right, now let's go to 88. So from 96 to 88, which is a little different. And it's moving back inside, but we're collecting money as we're going, and there's a 6. All right, so it's a $28 6. And so this is just using, you know, moves, the layout to your advantage. And we're collecting out of our risk as we go. So we're catching it from 2 directions. All right, so we're just using what's rolling, kind of, and there's a 12. All right, so we're seeing a lot of these horn numbers pop up. So this next 5 rolls, we're keeping that in mind. We're like, okay, there's an aces. So maybe now, on our next hit, or whatever, maybe we're gonna put out a $4 continuous horn bet. And there's the 7. Okay, no big deal. Just because we're seeing it. It seems to be trending. All right, so we're going to use the layout to our advantage. $4 horn. All right, so we caught up some. Go back to our 110. Using the layout. We got a 10. Okay, we'll lose there. Point's going to move to 10. Continuous $4 horn. Obviously, we hadn't rolled a horn. So the 10 and 4 are coming back. All right, we're seeing this. We're seeing this repeat. All right, are we going to keep getting blasted and not make any money off of it, or are we going to adjust? We need to adjust. Let's get some reds. We had one in our hand, guys. I wasn't cheating. And there's the 10 again. All right, so it's going to win 28. I'm going to collect 24, guys, because we're doing our continuous horn bet. Using the layout. What's going on? We're just using the layout to our advantage. Remember, all of our big winners, guys, all of our big losers were right at the beginning. And there's an 11. We're going to win 15. Replace our horn. We're in 15. All right, so that was the next 5 rolls. So our horn bet's paying off. It's hit twice, missed, you know, so we're probably ahead on it. All right. We've been hitting a lot of 4 and 10s. Really haven't been hitting many of our inside numbers. All right. But we've been hitting some 7s. All right. So maybe now we're like, okay, maybe we need to switch gears and play both sides of the board as well. All right. So let's pull the 5 and 9 down. That's $30. And we're going to put a $30 down out. And of course we rolled a 7. All right. I was still working. No reason to be off in this demonstration. Same thing, $30 don't. I'm going to go the 110 though, because it's going to be a little easier on the chips. And we're going to put our horn back out there. And there's an 11, which ends it great. And we're going to put the rest of our 30 back there. And there's a 9, so that's going to be a winner. All right, obviously the don't went to the 9, so it's going to be, I'm going to collect 31, guys, because we have $4 horn. 31. Take this. I'm going to put it right over here in odds. And again, all I'm doing is adjusting to what's going on. And there's the 6. Okay, so I'm going to collect 31. And there's the 6. I'm going to collect 31. And there's the 8. Again, I'm going to collect 31. So now we're on a little run. There's no reason to change what we're doing. Just let it roll out. There's an 11. We're going to collect 15. Oops. Next 5 rolls, there's the 10. Okay, so we had a roll that didn't win anything. We just lost. All right, I'm probably going to get off the horn. The horn did okay. It wasn't perfect. But I'm going to be like, okay, so we just hit a 10. If it starts moving outside more, we'll spread out. And there's the 5. Okay, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. This is just using it to your advantage. Okay, we're going to add to odds. Because why? Because we are getting close to that 7, I would say. I would lean toward that we're getting close to 7. All right, so that's 2 10s. And there's a 5. Another 35. I'm going to add some more odds. And the reason being is because I think the 7's coming. And there's the 8. 35. All right, so that's a lot of hits. A lot of hits. We went through 10 whole shots without rolling a bad roll. All right, we're taking down all our chips. We're just going to play this 9. All right, this is just, you know, we may roll a whole bunch more good numbers. But there's the 7. We're taking what the game has given us. All right, so that's, we're going to win 60 on 90. And voila, that simple. Our little come out destructive $200 of getting our butts kicked at the beginning has come back to us, and we are now up like $100, or a little over $100. And all that is we just used the layout to our advantage, adjusted as we need to adjust by what was happening at the table, guys. There was nothing special there. You didn't like have some secret strategy or anything like that. You're just adjusting and using the layout in your favor. All right, so here's another way to use the layout in your favor, and I've put this out a lot. All right, so let's say you start with the don't bet. All right, we roll, we get an 8. All right, perfect. What does this allow you to do? Okay, so this can give you the iron cross. You're going to get the iron cross right here, where your only bad number is going to be the 8, but you're going to get it cheap because you don't have to place the 8. All right, so you got $75 covering. All right, so you go like this and like this. You're getting every number on the board for $70, except for the 8, and you get the 7 for a $5 winner at this point. All right, so can you roll the 8? Sure. But we're going to use the layout to our favor. There's a 10. And we're going to keep winning. We're going to win until, you know, something changes. Something significantly changes. There's a 5, you know. But being that you have all the numbers, is that there's not a lot of reason to be all that worried about it. There's another $20 winner. All right, so you're using it in your favor, using the layout. You're using the layout in order to produce wins. You're not fighting what's going on the table. You're just saying, you know, it's all over the place, so I'm just going to bet everything. I got a don't cover in me. It's a very simple way to play, guys. Just using the layout in your advantage. And that's all really the Iron Cross does. The Iron Cross just says, you know what? The layout says I can get all these numbers for one bet. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to win. And I haven't been keeping track of the rolls, guys, because I'm just going to roll this iron cross out until it either makes the point or makes a 7. And as you can tell, guys, we're just racking chips up. And this isn't special. I'm not showing anything new. All I'm doing is showing why you do it. You're doing this, manipulating the layout in order to help yourself. And there's the 8, okay? Perfect. So in order to help yourself, I can't remember what we were ahead. $100, 100 something bucks, I'm not sure. Right? So there's 600. I think that's what we started with, right? 100. So we're up 69, $169. And we didn't do anything, guys. We didn't do anything special. There wasn't no, like, we weren't placing don't points, and we weren't hopping numbers, and we weren't progressing, and we weren't doing all that. All we were doing was seeing what was going on, using the layout in our favor, and attacking. And we just, that was literally a set it and forget it version. All right, so let's look at another one, okay? So I know the dice didn't do it, but let's say there's just been like 7s coming every other roll, it seems like. All right, so you start with a $20 don't, all right? You get a 5, all right? $20 don't come, remember. There's 7s just coming regularly, all right? You get a 9, you're seeing them real early. All right, so every time you're putting this out there, you only got to win half of them to be okay. All right, so there's a loss. You only have to win half the time. All right, so I'm going to mark the losses here. There's one loss. And there's aces, so it's going to be a win. Right there. Take that loss away. And there's the 9. Okay, so that's going to be a loss. So you only have to win half of these. So when the 7s are coming like crazy, oops, I was supposed to have a don't. All right, so I'm going to count like I had a don't. I was supposed to have a don't, guys. So we're just going to continuously play these don't bets. And there's the 6. And I know our probability is going down, but our money won, our odds on the winning is going up. And there's the 7. Okay, so remember, we had one loss in the negative, all right? So this is going to be a push. You're going to win there. You're going to win there. And then this is going to be like this. All right, so I'm just going to take this down. I know I would have got money for it, but I'm just showing that, okay, so we did much better than half, as you can tell. We did far better than half. All right. So that's something when the table's really cold, if it's just going really, really bad, you can just jump into all don't bets. And as long as you win half of the time, you're going to be fine. So how can that go wrong? Well, a guy can go on a long roll and just keep smacking numbers over and over and over until you can't win half the time. See, because once you have 6 out there, you're kind of on that borderline of you got to win pretty quick. That 7 needs to show up pretty quick, or you need to pull some of them down. So, again, this is just me trying to show like how you can manipulate the layout and manipulate what's going on to make yourself more profitable and to make yourself profitable easily. All right. Another way you can do it, and I'm going to take it back down to 600, is that whenever you get, like, okay, so for example, let's say you're a big don't better. Let's say you have more than 600. Let's say you have 1,600. Okay, and you bet $100 don'ts. Okay, boom, $100 don'ts. You roll, you get a 9. Okay. Obviously, the 9 doesn't have a hard way to cover or anything, but maybe you're good with just winning $40. So you place the 9. All right. If you roll the 9 again, you'll win 40. If not, you'll break even. All right. But what if you place it for, let's say, 75? Okay. So now you're going to win a $5 win if the 9 rolls. And if the 7 rolls, you're going to win a $25 win. So you're in a no-lose situation. All right. So let's roll again. We got a 3. It's a freebie. Let's say you press all your freebies. Let's say you press all your line hits or your box hits like that. All right, so now you got a 10. All right, it's a $200 don't 10. All right, so if you put 125, or let's say 130 on the buy, right? So if the 130 hits, you're going to win 260. If the 7 hits, you're going to win 200, so you're going to win 70. All right, so this is manipulating the layout. This is what one of our craps people press. This is kind of his thing. It's called the blender. It's like a version of the blender. What you're doing is you're placing your don'ts to make it to where you can't lose. All right, so let's say you jumped in there one more time. Remember, because these aren't at risk. These ones. This isn't at risk, this isn't at risk, this isn't at risk, and this isn't at risk. This is all that's at risk. And we got a 4. Okay, so now you're in like, you get the 4 or the 10 because they're the biggest, you got the biggest gap in them. Right, so you buy for 75. All right, so at this point, I would be completely happy with what was going on here. I may even pull this 9 down, even though it's a free win, and just run it back through the don't, or whatever. Or you can leave it. It's a guaranteed win. So either way, you roll it out. Whatever happens is all profit. Okay, so there's the 10. Okay, so we lose this one. But you got 130. So you're going to win 260. $260, 130. The big on that is $6. Drop $10, get 4 back. Rack it up. You're not doing anything but winning. You can't do anything at this point but win. There's no way to lose, guys. So when you manipulate the layout in this fashion, you're putting yourself in a no-lose situation, which is what you want to be in playing craps or any kind of gambling. You want to not be able to lose. And there's the 7. 7's easy. Rack it up. All right. So remember, you start with $1,600. Let's see where we're at just after that quick little blender. There's 15. 19, 2004. So you're up $404 just in that quick blender, just by playing it bigger. But that's just manipulating the layout. That's all you're doing, is manipulating the layout to create ideal situations for yourself, to create winning situations. And that's all you're trying to do. When you notice things happening, take advantage of them. Manipulate the layout in your favor. You know, if you haven't seen anything but inside numbers, you know, you probably should be betting the inside numbers. So again, this is simple. This isn't, I know it's in my advanced series of videos, but this is actually very simple stuff. And most people do it without knowing it. Most people do it without acknowledging it. But you should be paying attention, and you should be purposely putting bets down. They should have purpose when you do it. Just randomly betting, or just like always die-harding 64 across, you know, most of the time that's going to die. So again, guys, this is just me trying to show some of my thinking, some of the way I approach the game, and why I do certain things. And you guys have a great day. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.